So in summary, shoot footage, transfer footage to A drive is cloned to B drive, and B drive is kept somewhere safe. When I was about 16 years old and in school, I kept all of my ICT, my information communication technologies coursework, on a single 256 megabyte USB pen drive. Remember when you could actually get ones that small? An entire year's worth of coursework on that little drive. And about a week before the coursework was due to be handed in, it broke and I lost everything. And I swore that day that it would never happen again. Yeah, I'm trying to make this interesting. It's really boring, but it's so important, so please watch. Every year, hundreds, if not thousands of people experience loss of data, of personal files, of video files, of beloved memories, and of useless collections of cat photographs. So I'm going to share with you today my system for making sure that I never lose any video that I shoot. It's a pretty simple system. Anybody could really do this. It's relatively inexpensive as well, although over time it can add up. And it's portable. You can carry it with you everywhere, and it doesn't rely on an internet connection. So basically what I do is this. I buy matched pairs of hard drives. So this is 6A and this is 6B. 6B is cloned from 6A. And that's the fundamental part of this. I use a piece of software called Carbon Copy Cloner. So when I plug in both these hard drives at the same time, you can set it up to do that, it automatically clones A to B. So what that means is when I go out and I shoot a project, I come back in and I copy the files to 6A. I then plug in 6B and it's automatically copied. So instantly I've got 2 copies of my files. The hard drives are then not stored in the same location, so one set stays in the office and one set comes with me at all times until such times as I don't think I'll need that footage anymore, and then one stays at home and one stays in the office. Now this week I have supercharged this system by getting this. This is a Samsung T5 2TB SSD. I originally went to buy one of these about 2-3 years ago and they were £800, so not great. Several years later and they are less than a quarter of the price that it was. So you don't have to do this, you can just work with the hard drives as is, but what I'm going to do going forward is this becomes my A drive, which then gets cloned to a normal B drive, hard drive, and then because this is so fast, I can edit like 4K files directly off this, connected to my laptop, and it's super compact. But because this is so expensive, what I will do is once B drive is full, I will then buy a new A drive, clone B to A, then those drives will be used for archive, this will be wiped, and then this will become, it's now 7A, this will become 7B. I hope that makes sense. So in summary, shoot footage, transfer footage to A drive is cloned to B drive, and B drive is kept somewhere safe. That is pretty much it. Then for actually working on files, I could edit directly from this hard drive, although what I do like to do is transfer on the spare space on my laptop's hard drive, and I can store the files there and then delete them once I'm done. Or now that I have this SSD, I can just hook this up and work directly off it, which speeds things up even more. Now you may be wondering, why don't I just use a RAID system or a NAS system? In case you don't know what that is, that's basically where you have a large physical box which has multiple hard drives in it with redundancy. I should probably explain that doesn't help either. Okay, so I've got a box, it's got 2 hard drives in it, 2 6TB hard drives, and a RAID system basically means that those 2 hard drives are clones of each other. So it's kind of like what I'm doing here, except it happens all at once, and they're stored physically together. The reason I don't do that is because they're stored physically together. It only covers you in the event of hard drive failure. It doesn't cover you in the event of theft, fire, or some kind of disaster happening to your office. So that's why I use the 2 hard drives, both one stored in a remote location, because it covers you in a wider variety of situations than a RAID setup does. The other question might be, well, why don't you use cloud storage, combined with one of those systems? And the reason I don't do that, there's a couple of reasons I don't do that. The first one is the internet's just not fast enough here to be uploading terabytes and terabytes of data. And even if it was fast enough to upload it, it's still just so much slower to download again at the other end if I need to work on the files. This is so much quicker because I can carry 4 of these quite comfortably with me all the time. That's 16 terabytes of video files. That's nearly 3 years worth for me. It's loads, more than I need. Now, this works really well with the fact that I use Adobe Premiere Pro. And this is just a little addition to this. I use Adobe Premiere Pro and I use Dropbox. So when I'm editing video, all my project files stay in Dropbox and all my footage stays outside of Dropbox. So what that means is I could theoretically work on my laptop and then go home onto another computer that has Dropbox running and it's synced up, and just open that project. And as long as I have those original files, I can reconnect them and just carry on working. And that's what we do in the office between the 2 computers. We're working even between Mac and PC because all we need to do is use Dropbox to sync the Premiere Pro project files. That's going to be of no interest to you if you don't do any video editing. So that's pretty much it. Very short video. If you don't back up, you really need to back up, and you need to start now, because sooner or later you will have a disaster and you will lose your files. But hopefully that's going to be of use to you, and I will see you on the next video, which hopefully is going to be a bit more interesting than this. This is the most boring thing I've done in ages. I shot this like 4 times because I bored myself so much all the way through. What's the next video going to be? The next video I think might be another GoPro. Well, it's either going to be another GoPro video, a video about barefoot running, or a video about the iPhone 11. One of those 3.